Hi folks, this is Tony for aminutetomidnight.com. Please make sure you subscribe to us at aminutetomidnight.com. Go down the right hand side of the page and enter your email address where it says subscribe to blog. Those of you who have been following this channel, A Minute to Midnight, for any length of time will, I'm sure, have heard Jeremy, the ex-32nd degree freemason who I have had on the show a few times over the years. Well, Jeremy sent me this audio a few days ago, which I'm going to play for you. Pray about the things he has to say and weigh them up carefully. Jeremy's a good guy. Whether his sources are always good guys, well, that's another story, you know. He can't tell us where he gets the information from. Well, he's told me where some of it's come from, but he can't publicly say it. So you'll just have to realise that because of the nature of it, for his own safety's sake and so forth, he can't. He also, in this case, mixes a little bit of his own interpretations as well. So it's at times hard to tell between what is information he's been given and what is information that he believes he's received, you know, from God in his interpretation of things. That's just the way I'll phrase it. But it is definitely worth listening to and taking note of and making actions on some of his recommendations. I would heartily agree with that. Also, I notice at one point he mentions if anyone knows anything about Compound 7 to leave comments. I suspect that anybody that does know about Compound 7 is probably under severe threat if they reveal anything. But, you know, if you do know something and want to share it, you're welcome to do that. Because I can't go into any details either, just for his sake, as to what about Compound 7. But if anybody does, you know anything about it, wants to mention it, go for it. There is loud and rather annoying computer fan noise throughout the recording, and also an antique clock ticking away in the background as well. Can't do anything about removing that, unfortunately. You'll just have to kind of ignore it as best you can. So I can't I think risk putting this whole video on YouTube because I've already got 2 strikes against the Minute to Midnight channel, and they'll take the channel down with any more. So I'm going to have to just make it as a shortened video on YouTube. Please go to either our Rumble channel, our BitChute channel, or a minutetomidnight.com website, or our Apple iTunes podcasts, and listen to the full video there. Just because of censorship, I can't risk it and risk losing this channel currently with the situation with YouTube. So I'm sorry, but that's just the way it has to be for this one. So please listen to the whole thing, and you're welcome to come back and leave comments at the YouTube channel if that's where you're watching the trailer. So without saying anything further, I'll just play Jeremy's audio now.
Hey, I just want to touch base on a few things that I feel are important that I think that you might ought to know about. The first thing is if you live in the Atlantic region, mid-Atlantic region to the south in the United States, maybe I know you know of the spraying, but I've come to know that maybe Wednesdays, if you could avoid being outside, you might ought to. Or avoid being out more than you need to. And I want to stress again about water. If you live in a municipality, if you can avoid drinking public water, bathing in it, cooking in it, you might ought to try. This next illness that I believe without a doubt is coming. You remember all those coffins. There's going to be bodies to scare you into taking this next round of